All right, let's dive into something pretty different today. Imagine an economic system that ditches the spreadsheets and instead visualizes your money using the language of biology. We're going to break down a system that does exactly that, turning abstract financial data into what is essentially a living, breathing ecosystem. So to really get this, we have to start with a pretty wild question. What if your money wasn't just a number on a screen? What if it was actually alive? What if it could grow and react and even have its own biology? Just hold on to that thought because it is the key to absolutely everything we're about to unpack. You see, the whole system is built around this one core idea called heliotropism. And it's simple, really. Think about a sunflower. It doesn't chase the sun, right? It just naturally turns to face it. Well, this economy is designed to work the same way, to attract users by constantly putting out value, not by chasing them down. And this slide really nails the difference. I mean, think about traditional finance. It's all about pursuit, isn't it? Aggressive marketing, ads everywhere, constantly fighting for your attention. Heliotropism just flips that whole script. The system just is valuable, and you, the user, are completely free to turn towards that value whenever you want. You're drawn in naturally, not by force. It's a huge shift from a push to a pull model. And get this, in this ecosystem, you're not just a user, you're what's called a data valuer. And the name itself says so much. It implies you have sovereignty, you have choice. You are the one who sees the value and makes the conscious decision to engage. You're the sunflower in this whole analogy. Okay, so how does a data valuer actually get started? I mean, how do you take your regular money, like a US dollar, and bring it into this biological world? It all kicks off with a concept that feels like it's pulled straight from a high school physics class. The entry point couldn't be simpler, but it's really symbolic. A great white button. Now, we all know from science that white light is just the combination of all the other colors in the spectrum. And here, that white light represents your cash, a dollar in its raw, undifferentiated form, holding all of its potential inside. So when you press that button, you're basically injecting that white light of your dollar into the system. It then passes through this thing called the POPI, which acts like a digital, algorithmic version of Newton's prism. It takes that single beam of your dollar and poof, it refracts it, splitting it into a spectrum of 4 totally distinct value frequencies. And here's the beautiful result. Your $1 is now separated into 4 powerful, useful parts. Blue, or azul, is your power to create. Green, verde, is your potential for growth and luck. Red, vermelho, is all about the fast-paced world of trading and exchange. And finally, yellow, amarelo, is your rock, your foundation, your security, kind of like your own personal gold reserve. The system literally reveals the hidden jobs that were always waiting inside that single dollar. So, your value is now broken down into these cool frequencies. But what does that actually look like? How do you see it? Well, as you might have guessed by now, you are not going to find any static tables or boring charts from 1982 here. Instead, your entire balance is represented by a girasol digital. That's a digital sunflower. And this isn't just some pretty graphic, okay? It is a living, dynamic dashboard where every single part of the plant is a direct, real-time reflection of your financial health. Let's start with the stem, the Kali. The stem is you. It represents your time and your effort, your human force. So the more you engage with the system, the taller and stronger your stem grows, visually showing you the personal investment you've put in. Then you've got the petals, or petalus. These represent brand new digital savings. Every single time a new unit of savings is generated in your account, a new petal literally appears on your flower. It's this beautiful, tangible way to actually watch your wealth blossom right before your eyes. Your sunflower also has a brillo, which means brightness or glow. Now, this glow isn't just for show, it's actually data. It reflects growth that's coming from external factors in the ecosystem, things like overall system performance or even certain elements of luck, all of which are tracked by specific data counters working behind the scenes. And finally, your flower has movimento, or movement. If you happen to see your sunflower slowly rotating, that is a live indicator that your assets are active on something called the time-owned market. And we're going to get to that in a sec, but the crucial point here is this. A still flower is idle, while a moving flower is actively out there working for you. Okay, so we've seen this beautiful biological interface. It's incredible. But now let's pop the hood and look at the revolutionary engine that's making it all run. This is where the system makes its most audacious claim: the ability to actually crystallize time itself. Hey, remember that blue frequency from the prism, the one we said was for creation? Well, this is its ultimate job. That creative power is what fuels the entire process of taking a totally abstract concept, time, and turning it into a tangible, tradable digital asset. So to pull this off, the system performs what it calls a histology of money. Just like your body processes food and sends nutrients where they need to go, it separates your capital into 4 productive fields. You have the monetary field for security, the financial field for growth, the taxomatic field for automated tax stuff, and even something called a spiritual field, which is designed to generate assets that represent your personal freedom within the system. And this is how it all clicks together. First, your money gets allocated across those 4 fields. Then, special counters measure the exact amount of time, the space-time interval, that your money sits in those fields. This data, the money plus the duration, gets packaged into a unique digital property called an undated web quantum. Just think of it like a digital title deed for a specific moment in your financial history. And just like that, an interval of your time becomes a crystallized asset that can be bought and sold on the time-owned market. What this means for you is that the value isn't just in the money anymore. It's in the duration that money is put to work. You're literally creating a whole new class of asset out of thin air, or rather out of time itself. Now, I know this all might sound incredibly complex, maybe even a little automatic, but the final and honestly the most important piece of this whole puzzle is you, the data valuer. You are always in control. This quote from the source material really says it all. None of this happens on its own. The entire process, from splitting your dollar into colors to crystallizing time, is modulated by the will of the owner. It's a powerful tool, not some kind of runaway robot. Look, the system offers some incredibly advanced tools, for sure, but using them is always optional. You, the data evaluator, are in the driver's seat. You decide what you need, you approach the ecosystem with a goal, and it responds with this powerful mix of mathematical precision and biological beauty, but it's always at your command. So let's just quickly recap this whole journey. We started with a single dollar, right? A unit of white light. We passed it through an algorithmic prism to unlock its hidden spectrum of uses. We then watched those uses come to life as a digital sunflower, and finally, we used its creative power to transform time itself into a real asset. It's quite a trip. And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. This system completely reimagines finance through the lens of physics and biology. So the real question is this: if money can become a sunflower and time can become a tradable asset, what other fundamental values in our world are just sitting there, waiting for the right prism to come along and reveal their hidden colors?